Hey everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about mistakes to avoid when buying property in Nigeria. At the end of this video, you should be equipped with all you need to make up your brief for your dream property in Nigeria. If you don't know what a brief is, a property brief is a list of ideal home features and preferences for a buyer. So before we begin the journey to buying a home in Nigeria or your own country, the first thing you need to consider is your reason. One major mistake people make is not knowing the reason why they're buying or not getting their reason right. Is it for you to live in or is it an investment vehicle? We'll be focusing more on buying a property for you to live in this video. So who's going to be living here? Are you going to be having family members around, or are you going to be having your kids around? This is where you decide the right size of home for you and the perfect home for you. For instance, if you have grown kids, you may not need a pool, or you may not need so many rooms because they're not going to be coming home often. Are you also buying a home to show off to people, to your friends? Are you buying a place you can host parties and get-togethers? In this case, splurging on something grandiose may not make financial sense, but if that's what you want, by all means go for it. So once you have all your reasons right, you need to detach yourself emotionally from the buying process. And this is just to be very practical about it. By detaching yourself emotionally, this means you don't start imagining yourself enjoying the house. You don't start imagining yourself living in the house you're looking at online when you see pictures of it. Because if you do that, you'll be emotionally attached to the home and then you won't be able to make the right decisions. Many people don't like hearing this, but this is just the truth. And in most cases, you're not the only decision maker when buying a home. So most times you get your partner or your spouse, or you have a relative or your kids who are also considering buying the home with you, and you guys are going to make the decision together. So in that case, you need to share this video with them. Click the share button, share this video with them, and let them also watch this video because there's so many things we're going to unpack in this video, and they're going to be very useful for you in your own buying process. One other mistake people make is not getting the right professional. I can't overemphasize why you need a trusted professional to inspect the property you're interested in. And this professional will give you recommendations on what you should actually buy. So there's emphasis on trusted here. Many people have bought money pits by not getting the services of a professional. So you need to make sure you get a professional so that you don't spend too much when you need to renovate the house and start discovering issues after you've purchased the house. And some people eventually have to sell their houses. I've seen cases of people who buy a house, they're not here, they see pictures, they just pay, send the money, buy the house, and then when they get there, they see that this is not what I saw, this is not what I really want. There's so many issues with this home, and then they have to sell it. You don't want to make such grave mistakes. If you can afford it, it's best to get a team comprising of an architect, a structural engineer, and an MEP engineer. MEP stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineer. And these people would be able to thoroughly inspect the properties you're interested in. If you're spending millions of naira on a property, then this little expense of hiring people to actually check if this is a good buy would be worth it eventually. These professionals will be able to help you do things they're trained for. They'll be able to do great research. So these professionals will research the construction company that built this home or the developer. They will be able to research the listing agent of the property, make sure they are not scammers, make sure that these are people who are reliable, they have skin in the game, they've been doing this for a long time, and then they also have a satisfactory track record. Doing this research also involves getting construction pictures for the project, pictures that were taken while the project was in progress. With this, they will be able to gauge to some extent if the right construction methods were used and if the right materials were used. They also need to confirm title documents on the property. Make sure that the property has the right title, such as the governor's consent. Trust me, you don't want to deal with property litigation issues in Nigeria. I've I've experienced so many cases with clients where they buy a property, is not properly titled, and then they have to go to court for the case, and this takes so many years. the stress of even dealing with these issues is so serious. And when you have a court case on a property, it's almost impossible to let go of it. You probably can't sell it. So you just get stuck with it. So make sure that you have professionals doing their due diligence in this aspect. When getting professionals, you should value referrals. You should also avoid sentiment. Don't put all your hope in one basket. Don't totally believe what someone is telling you, even though they are referred by someone, by a relative or a friend. Most people recommend their friend just because they want to get a sales commission out of it. But make sure you do your research on whoever was recommended. You also have to do 2FA, two-factor authentication, which is um, once these people give you a report, you need to have another eyes look at it in case these people have been compromised or bribed by the listing agent and they want to get a cut. Another mistake people make is that they don't do proper research, proper stock taking, proper inspection of the property. So this your professionals will help you do this. And one of the major issues you need to look for are structural issues. They should check for cracks, for sizes of columns and beams, do load bearing capacity test, probably do a non-destructive concrete test. And this is mostly the job of the structural engineer. And they usually know what to do. I'm not a structural engineer, I studied architecture, so I won't go into too many details here. But structural engineers definitely would know what to do. When it comes to also damp and mold issues or flooding issues, you should definitely inspect a property in the rainy season. That's the best time to inspect properties, especially in Lagos or any other area that is prone to flooding. You need to make sure that this property won't get flooded when there's heavy downpour. You need to make sure that you're not going to have damp mold issues in the house, and you will need to start replastering, rescreening, repainting the walls. This would cost you a lot of money in maintenance. Roof leakages is one other major issue that needs to be checked for. The roof is one of the most expensive parts of the home, and if it's not done rightly and there are roof leakages, it can cost so much havoc in the home. So they need to check for issues with the roof. Poor construction, bad tiling, wobbly walls, poor fittings. There's so many ways developers cut corners, use of substandard materials. Professionals will be able to professionals who actually pay attention to details will be able to fish out these issues and let you know about them. So while it's almost impossible to have 100% perfect home in a perfect condition, it's good to know some of these issues and know, okay, these are the issues I can deal with, right, when making a decision on the home buying process. Once you know, okay, I can deal with these issues, I can fix these issues, the home might not be 100% good, but even if it's 99%, you can still go with it, and then you fix all those. You fix the minor issues you find out before you move in. So another major mistake people make is getting the wrong location, getting a bad location. Location is everything in real estate. You need to make sure the property is easily accessible and is in a conducive and safe environment. The first point to consider under location is amenities. How good are the roads in the area? If your vehicle has a very low ground clearance, you're going to have issues fixing your vehicle. You're going to spend a lot more on vehicle maintenance, and your vehicles won't last as long. So bad roads would play, a major will play a major role. Power situation of the area is also very important. In Nigeria, you have different bands of electricity. Band A are the guys who get 16 hours or more per day, while Band E get less than 8 hours a day. So this would help you plan towards the size of alternative energy source. Mostly if you're not buying into a serviced home already or a serviced estate, you need to plan towards an alternative power source. Maybe you're getting a diesel generator, or you're getting an inverter system, or you're getting both of them. Security is also a major issue to take account of. The crime rate in the area, is that very low? Is there a police station nearby? These are important questions to ask. You may also need to employ the services of a living security man or gate man, and this will cost you some money, though not much. In Nigeria, there are some things to take account for when you're trying to judge if an area is secured. So if there are a lot of influential people in that area. If you have top military personnel, if you have politicians in that area, top business people, the area tends to be more secured because many of these people even have their own private security detail, and miscreants, thieves would think twice about burgling houses in that area. One major point you need to take note of as well is make plans for renovations. Right, some houses were built um, years ago, they were not properly maintained. Some houses were not perfectly built, and there just may be issues that would rise up after you purchase and start living there. And generally, things go bad after some time. So you may want to make modifications to your taste. This might be adding new spaces to the house, extending maybe the porch or something. You might want to change the paint, the color of the home. I want to add outdoor spaces and extensions. These changes are welcome and will make the house more suitable to your taste. So just make plans for renovations whenever you're making a home purchase. One major mistake people also make is not considering the operational cost of owning a home. So you should make sure you avoid buying a home that is too expensive for you to maintain. So because you can afford a home right now, does not mean you should buy it, right? Because homes always come with regular maintenance cost. There are bills and levies. Many communities have estate dues. These are their development levies, security fees that have to be paid either monthly or yearly for the community. So, and then you also have your regular electricity bills, your waste disposal bills, just like anywhere in the world, right? Staff salaries is also a thing in Nigeria. You might have a living security guard, you might have a living housekeeper, or you might just want to have the house being cleaned regularly. You might need a personal chef, a driver. So you need to plan ahead for the salaries you're going to be paying these people. The general fixes and maintenance for any property, and the bigger the house is, the more you're going to spend on just general maintenance. And I recommend that you should set aside about 1% to 2% of the purchase price of the property for maintenance every year. So if you're buying a property of 100 million naira, make sure you plan ahead that you're going to be spending 1 million naira every year just for general maintenance, excluding the bills. Right? So I feel that that's good enough. Uh, so power generation is also a big deal in Nigeria because the state of power is very erratic. So you need to run your own diesel generator most of the time, and you need to consider the cost of servicing that, the cost of purchasing diesel, and all of that. The bigger the home, the bigger the bigger capacity of generator you're going to need. You'll be looking at 30 kVA, 50 kVA, and those use more fuel than the smaller ones. As a bonus point, you don't need to rush to buy a property. Right? This is a place you want to live in, you want to bring your friends and family, you want to be proud of. So don't rush. So even if you hear there's a limited offer with a time limit and that the price will go up by next week, the realtor may even tell you that there are other prospective buyers that are about to make offers, they're about to make a deposit. These are usually gimmicks used by realtors to sell you something that's overpriced. So I wish you best of luck in your home buying journey. You can contact us for your building project or real estate purchase in Nigeria. Thank you for watching.